Greetings, royal family, and welcome to another message by the Honorable Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey, Beit Nun Sophie, Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey. Now, royal family, this message was taught many years ago by the Honorable Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey and is being presented to you today by Yahweh's royal priesthood. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at Yahweh's royal priesthood, www.yahweh144000.com. And also, royal family, join us at the University of Yahweh, where classes are designed for the Godhead. Visit us at www.universityofyahweh.org. Also, royal family, listen to our weekly podcasts by the University of Yahweh, found on most podcast platforms. We look forward to you being there as well. Enjoy, royal family.
Shalom Aleichem. I indeed had a wonderful and grand time on last evening, sharing with you the classes on Now is the Judgment of This World, the dry bones out of Ezekiel chapter 37, and also illuminating your minds on Lucifer's institutions that exist throughout the earth, used as a factory to manufacture those who would be in opposition to the will of the Creator, Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey. And all of us have been victims of those institutions, from the public schools, through the libraries, through foundations, and whatever institutions there are that exist. The twisted mindset of Lucifer snaking throughout all of this to deceive the minds of the world. And your being illuminated has truly been a blessing during your feast. Now I'm ready to go with you tonight from Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 8 and 9. Remember that I am prophesying to you, carrying out the will of Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey in your life, the life of our people, and these particular classes are going to have to become a part of your daily life, the life of your family, the life of the Godhead. You must understand very clearly, and I repeat, I am establishing and will establish Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey University throughout the earth. In every continent, every country, every major city, towns and villages will have Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey universities, so that the earth will be full of the knowledge of Yahweh. And this institution will both break to pieces and consume the kingdoms of Satan, the house of Satan. And we can see that in Daniel chapter 2, verse 44, and I will read that to you. And in the days of these kings, right now, shall Yahweh, the God of heaven, set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. That's an institution. And the kingdom and this institution shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms and institutions that you know of and don't know of. And it shall stand forever. That's in perpetuity, eternity. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing what I know. And after 12 years, you finally are now, tonight, this week, understanding what must be done. For example, all of these tapes that I have produced over 12 years, all of the almost complete scriptures, all of the books that I have written and papers that I've written, everything that I have taught is to be put in institutions, duplicated, scattered all over the country, the earth, and hidden away in your home so that it is always available forever throughout the earth. And no matter where you go, it's somewhere. And it's among the saints and the believers to keep it. Ultimately, Job chapter 18, verses 18 and 19 will become true. And it's to become true through our work. And in verses 18 and 19 it says, Satan, Lucifer, the wicked one, the prince of this world, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwelling. Verse 20, they that come after him shall be astonished at his day, and they that went before were affrighted. Now, the astonishment is he won't be anymore. And all the nations of the earth shall look narrowly upon him because he won't be anymore. We must understand that he is not as great as he appears to be. He's only great when you're in darkness. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. They that see him shall narrowly look upon him and consider him, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms? That's what everybody is going to say because of the knowledge institution that I have already set in motion. I've already set this knowledge institution in motion. It's in motion. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. They can't see it. They can't touch it. You meet from house to house. And it goes from mouth to ear. So there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's in motion. And the knowledge that I'm sharing with you during this speech is so high that only the Godhead can absorb it and do something with it. Others hear it and are amazed and astonished by it, but there's not anything they can do with it. It is enlightening, and if a base mind receives it, it will become a high and enlightened mind. Now again, let us settle down for a moment and go to verses 8 and 9 of Ezekiel chapter 37. I had to say those things to you to help you to understand that Ezekiel chapter 37 is a true mystery. It is an absolute mystery to you and to the world. And no one on this planet Earth has been able to decode Ezekiel chapter 37 as you are receiving it from me. Verse 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Now, here is something that I beheld. That means I keep looking in absolute faith and work, because we know that faith without work counts for nothing, and it's also less than nothing. So we have to understand that. Let's go to James chapter 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. You see, if you are a hearer only, then you are deceived. You deceive yourself. You have to be a doer. In other words, you have to go to work. I think you learned that this feast too. James chapter 2, verse 26. Let's take a look at that. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. Think about it. The body without the spirit is dead. See, that's what Ezekiel chapter 37 is all about. Is we are a body of people here in the valley of North America without the spirit and the breath of Yahweh. Thus, You are dead. And that's what James chapter 2, verse 26 points out so clearly and so graphically, that you are dead. And if you have no works, you are also dead. Not only is the spirit dead, you are dead until you have works. So I am in this tomb, waiting on you to come to this understanding and come to understand and know that it requires work. Yahweh is a working God. He is a working God. Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2 makes it clear. He comes on creating. The Yahweh comes on in verse 1, creating. That's work. And that's action. Now, let's go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, Yahweh ended his work, which he had made. So, you see, Yahweh worked. How can we be his children sitting around waiting on magic to get me from the tomb? The third day is not only my rising, but your rising too. I know you've all been sitting back waiting on me to rise. I understand. So I continue to sit here and let you come to your senses and let you come to the reality. But then, of course, I love you so much that I'm helping you to come to your senses and helping you to come to reality by showing you that that's not the way to pray. That's the Christian idea of prayer, which doesn't work. That's why our people are still in poverty and suffering abuse throughout the land, is because they are waiting on a mystery type God that they don't know, can't see, hear, feel, touch, doesn't move to their action. They can't identify him. And see, all the praying that they do has not brought them peace, health, happiness, joy, long life, or eternity, has not brought them wealth. They remain at the bottom of civilization with all their mystical prayers because they claim to be the children of God, but they don't imitate him. You see, they don't do what he says. He said in Matthew 5:48, "Be ye also perfect, as the Father Yahweh in heaven is perfect." He was a worker. He is a worker. Not only was, the evidence of his creation is from his work. What a masterful worker. How busy is he? Especially when we know that 1,000 years is but one day with him, and he worked 6 days. So he spent 6,000 years building, working out what you see. 6,000 years. He worked straight, incessantly, without stopping, and waited until the 7,000th year to take a break. Well, here we are, facing reality. You have to get up out of your sleep. You have to come up out of your grave, going to work. I know you want to sit around and just talk about how it used to be in the grave. You want to sit around and talk about how heaven must be and what it must be like. It's going to be like what you make it. It's going to be like what you work it out to be. You're going to get a shock tonight as we move through the Word to find out how you're going to have heaven. Oh, it's forever, and it's more than what you ever dreamed of. In reality, you've never been able to think what heaven is anyway. It's a place that you always say you wanted to go. Your mother wanted to go, your grandparents wanted to go, but nobody ever wanted to die to get there. That's for sure. So it's against your nature to want to die and go to heaven. It's just against your nature. You want to stay here to the last minute, even if when you're sick and feel like you're about to die, you don't want to go. See? So we have to face the reality, and I'm bringing it to you. Head up. Yahweh is a working God. As his children, you have to be working gods. Have you not heard that ye are gods? In Psalms 82:6, as I taught you last night, and many years I've taught you this. So since you are gods, you have to become workers. All things are possible. Whatever you imagine to do is possible, according to Genesis 11:6. That's the real world. I know it's kind of shocking to some to find out that all that you're going to get, you're going to have to work for it. You love me? Keep my commandments. I command you to come and get me. Get me out of this tomb so I can come and be with you and elevate you and raise you high above all nations upon the earth. Even speaking from the tomb, I'm giving you elevated teachings that's higher than anyone on this planet is getting. This whole feast, the wisdom I have been teaching you and sharing with you, even the power of ownership that you've been getting, is all elevated high above anything you get on this planet Earth today. So once again, let's look at St. John chapter 5, verse 17. And it says, but Yahweh Beit Nun Yahweh answers you, saying, my Father Yahweh worketh, and I work. My Father Yahweh worketh, and I work. That's what makes me his son. You don't see me sitting about moaning and groaning about my condition and where I am and the fact that I'm hung on the cross and that I'm suffering here in the tomb, being tortured and crucified and slain for you. Yes, I am. Simultaneously, while I suffer all of these things for you, I'm working. And I work whether sick or well. I always have. And I never complain to you one way or the other. I catch colds and those kinds of things, the viruses that are around this institution, and yet I'm right here on my job, working to raise you high above all nations that are upon the earth. Now let's go back to Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 8, and you see here, so when I beheld, when I looked, what happened? Then something strange is taking place around you. Flesh and sinew are coming up on you, will come up on you, my people. And the skin is going to cover you. But there's a problem. There's no breath. There's no life in you. There's no evidence of your work. Got to see your work. Got to get up and go to work. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 9. Then said he unto me, who? Yahweh said to me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, who is God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So by now you certainly know what the four winds are. Television, radio, newspapers, books, magazines, any other medium or media that are under our control. We control that. And we cause the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the words, this teachings from Yahweh, to breathe upon the slain all across America and ultimately the world. But these dry bones are in America, in this valley. So this is where it's coming to. Now let us look at Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 10. So I prophesied as Yahweh has commanded me, and the breath is surely come into you, will come, shall come into you and into our people in this country, and they shall live, and shall stand up on their feet, an exceeding great army. This is what you shall do. 1 million people signing petitions for my release. Our people are standing up. They're ready to stand. It may be overwhelming to you, but in your city, I don't need a huge army to reach the army. I only need a few. Just a handful. That's all. Who are obedient, will keep my commandments, and go to work. You'll never be sorry. Just think. Heaven on earth forever is your reward. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all the things you ever dreamed of will be added to you. That's reality. You want to experience that reality? Then go to work. We must go to work like never before. Work while it is day. John chapter 9, verse 4. Now, let's look at Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. Going off into some of the mysteries of verse 10. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. That's what's coming down in America. Great fear is going to come upon everybody that see you stand up on your feet. As they see you standing up now, great fear is coming upon them. And all of our people here in the hills of North America are going to stand. All it takes is this breath to enter into them. So the tapes that you have, all you need to do is share them with everybody that wants to. Don't force this on a soul. Don't force what I teach on one person on this planet. Don't try to convince one person on this planet Earth. Simply share it with those who are searching and looking and who want heaven on earth forever. You can ask a few questions in advance and know who that is. We also must publish this on television, radio, and the newspaper. This is how it's to be done. Now, isn't that a surprising scripture to you? This is a part of the mystery of Ezekiel 37:10. Now let us go to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 19. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Do you understand the mystery? Yes. There may be a handful of you now. There may be a few of you now, but I'm going to multiply you. I am going to multiply you. Your numbers are going to be like the sands on the seashore, like the stars in the heavens. That's how I'm going to multiply you. You will not be few in number. You're going to be great in number. And I know it's kind of shocking, but that's going to make your burden so easy. You're going to be able to have heaven so wonderfully until it's just defying your imagination. Now let us go to Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 22. And the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured. So will I multiply your seed, which is the seed of David, my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. So through our forefather David, that promise was made. We are the recipient of that promise. That's why the enemy has made a move to do birth control on you, my people. That's why the enemy of Yahweh, the enemy of this promise, has made a move to do tubal ligations upon our women, to do C-sections upon our women. We didn't have C-sections no time in history. Why do you suddenly need C-sections? No, it's to destroy your birth-making capacity, to destroy your ability to have children, because they know that this is your promise from Yahweh. That's why they have made a move for every type of birth control there is. Condoms, tubal ligations, hysterectomy, the whole 9 yards. And then get your children to engage in sexual activity to destroy them through the sexually transmitted diseases. And then tell you that gay people have rights. I mean, when can children be produced through the anus of a man? How can that be done? See, I talk straight. The only way you're going to be saved is straight talk. You can't be saved by talk going around the bush and don't hit it head on. There is no way on this planet that a human being can be conceived in the anus of a man. That's impossible. So that makes it against creativity. Now you understand that it's about having babies. This civilization, the institutions of Lucifer, are all about spreading ideas and lifestyles that will eliminate you having children. You need to multiply as written in the Word, and then subdue the earth. Oh yes, but I'm going to multiply you because you know the truth. Now, don't worry about having babies. You need all you can have because you're the few. Who are the few? The ones that believe. It's no use talking to the people already been cut up. They can't do anything about it, but be sorry that they did it. Being sorry doesn't change the issue. We need babies who are attending Yahweh University, who will have babies, attending Yahweh University all over the earth, who's having babies, attending Yahweh universities all over the earth, who's having babies, until there's nobody on this planet Earth but our babies. You don't have to worry about wickedness and evil then, because the only thing coming up are babies in the knowledge of Yahweh. That's why the Bible says, and babes shall lead them. Let's look at Genesis chapter 15, verse 5. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. This is what Ezekiel chapter 37 is all about, is multiplying your seed. Your seed. You see, Lucifer, since he is not highly virile, he couldn't repopulate the earth from his own seed. He just doesn't have that kind of power. So what he's had to do is work through the art of deception. So he has set up his branches of libraries. That's what that tree was in the garden that I told you about. There's branches of libraries, the branches of knowledge, deceptive knowledge all over the earth, to deceive people to follow him. See? So that's the only way that he could rule on the earth, is through that type of deception, because he'd never be given the time to repopulate. But we have that power. You see, Yahweh gave us that power to repopulate the planet Earth, as was demonstrated with Noah and his sons. From 3 sons, all the people you see on this planet come from them. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 10. And it says, the Lord Yahweh, your God, has multiplied you, and behold, you are this day as the stars of heaven for a multitude. That's why they don't want your dry bones awake. Oh, but I'm doing it. That's what you're learning tonight. You're learning the secrets that were from the foundation of this world. I'm teaching the secrets from the foundation of this world that were hid from you from the foundation of this world. Matthew chapter 13, 34, and 35. And these things spake the Son unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. I'm fulfilling that right now in your life. Absolutely fulfilling it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 22, verse 17. And it says, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. You understand? So all that you see your enemies with, your seed shall possess it. You are the seed. Your children forever are the seed. We shall possess it. All the kingdoms of the earth shall become your possessions. Now do you see why they separated me from you, have tried to cut me off from you, have tried to slay me from you? Well, they have succeeded in taking my body from you. They have succeeded in hanging me on the cross. They have succeeded in crucifying me. And they have succeeded in slaying me. But yet, you're getting a message from the tomb. And you can tell you need me with you on a daily basis so that I can teach you like this and unlock the mysteries of the Word from Genesis through Revelation. This is a forever teaching, and you need all of it.
Greetings, Royal Family. Let's talk about the most prestigious private university in the universe, the University of Yahweh. It is here where students, parents, adults, and teachers study the divine mind of Yahweh Ben Yahweh, thus elevating them to contemplate and understand the loftier concepts and principles, enabling their minds to focus and think on an extraterrestrial level. This intellectual ability and unique set of skills supersede all base, mundane, and terrestrial thinking, thus allowing one's minds to open up and flourish with an overwhelming abundance of creative ideas and loftier concepts, making life and living more enjoyable. The University of Yahweh is woven deep within the fabric of the moral principles of truth, honesty, integrity, true holiness, righteousness, ethics, and justice for all. The University of Yahweh is designed for the Godhead, and this includes students, parents, adults, and the Godhead. In the University of Yahweh, the online platform, you gain a structured format to the approach of the divine mind of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Yahweh. We welcome you to visit our website at www.universityofyahweh.org. This platform is specifically designed for the Godhead and the Godhead family. The 144,000 chosen to rule in righteousness. We look forward to working with you as we prepare for rulership in righteousness. Praise Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Praise Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Beit Nun Sophie Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Shalom, World Family.